Hello again, fellow Summoners War players. Welcome back to my channel. And if this is your first visit to my channel, I hope I can earn your subscription today. One of the key things in this game is having efficient farming teams so that you can quickly get runes, grinds, gems, and artifacts. So in this video, I'm going to take you through how I transitioned from my light and dark only dungeon farming teams into Tricaru, and show you the results of just doing that transition. And then after that, I'm going to take you through improving my Tricaru team and some of the key things that you should be thinking about as you go from a basic Tricaru team into a faster Tricaru team. We have a lot to do today. Let's get started. This video is not a guide to building Tricaru. There are plenty of other guides out there. I'm going to put some links down in the description about a couple of videos that I really like for it, as well as a spreadsheet that shows you the Tricaru defense requirements. And so all those will be down there below. This video is for once you've built that basic team, how do we start tweaking it so that we get better. Here we are back on my Akiyama 808 account on the Japan server, and my brand new Tricaru team that's only a few days old is sitting here doing runs. I find it very mesmerizing to watch Tricaru run. When I made the decision that I was going to transition my account from an LD only account to an LD heavy account where I could use any monsters I wanted to help improve my efficiency in the game and help achieve my end game goal. Can I get to C1 in RTA or maybe even higher? The first thing I realized immediately was that I needed my dungeon teams to be more efficient. I built light and dark only dungeon teams. Okay, so here's an old screenshot of my best dungeon times before I started using Tricaru. So you can see my Giants team record was just over 50 seconds, and Steel Fortress was just under 2 minutes. And both of these teams are rock solid. They never fail. So moving to the dots team would make these more efficient, but it wouldn't be a giant gain. Whereas if we look at my Dragon's Lair time, my record was 1 minute and 30 seconds. And the average run time was just over 2 minutes. So that's pretty slow. Necropolis, you can see my record time was just over 2 minutes. And my average time was approaching 3 minutes. So this was slow too. And then Punisher's Crypt, my record time was 2:15. And my average time was between 2.5 to 3 minutes. So all these teams were pretty slow. And I knew from building Tricaru on other accounts that I could vastly improve on those times. So my very first goal was to take those 3 dungeon times and cut them at least in half. And how quickly could I do that? And so I built Tricaru, I runed it up to meet the basic defense and speed requirements. Now we can take a look at how did that improve my times. So here is my new DB12 times, and you can see my average clear time is now 1 minute and 13 seconds. So that is clearly at least half of my old run time. So just by switching to Tricaru, I already accomplished that goal. Same thing with Necropolis B12. Average run time is 1 minute and 15 seconds. So that also cut my time in half. And then my Punisher's Crypt went down to 1 minute and 30 seconds average runtime. So that wasn't quite half, but it was much better. So one of the things I want to do to improve my Tricaru team is something I've been waiting to do on any of my accounts since the first day I started playing Summoner's War. Like many early game players, I didn't spend a lot of time farming Arena. But with this account, I've been pretty good about staying up on Arena, and I'm finally ready to upgrade my speed tower to level 20. This feels like a very glorious moment. Like it's a moment of reverence. Now, you don't need a level 20 speed tower for Tricaru. It just helps. Just been waiting for that for so long. Finally got it on video as well. So I can show you my other towers that help out with Ikaru. So Ancient Sword helps all 4 members of the team, just raising their attack. And I've got that at level 12. The Guardstone, which you don't need to have at level 16, but every extra level that you have helps. It allows your defense number to be lowered. You can see that in the spreadsheet I put in the description below. Hit points just help with sustainability for the team. Now, this was a light and dark only account, so I never built my elemental towers. So I've upgraded my fire sanctuary up to level 2 now, which means I'm getting a 3% extra. Most people are going to have this higher than me. My speed tower is now done. I maxed out my crit damage tower first, so all my Ikarus, when they do crit, they get an extra 25% crit damage. And then also, now this doesn't help the Tricaru team, but I also maxed my light and dark towers because I was only using light and dark monsters. So those are kind of where my towers are at. However, there is one problem. The Dragons team is fine. It has never failed since I started running the Tricaru. But I've had an occasional fail on the Necropolis team, and I've had an occasional fail on the Punisher's Crypt team. So I know that my Tricaru team needs to be improved. I don't like failed runs, because when I'm farming and doing other things, I want to come back and I want to see 10 runs. I don't want to see that I failed on run number 2. And I realized basically I wasn't doing enough damage. So yes, my team met the defense requirements, but my damage was just not there. So that's how Tricaru, just switching to a basic Tricaru team, dramatically improved my dungeons time. And now I want to make it faster, and I also want to get rid of those fails. I do not want fails on Necro and Punisher's Crypt level 10. So let's take a look at my team and see where we can make some improvements. This is my Verd. He's at 100% crit rate, and he's exactly at 100%. He has 206% crit damage, which is pretty good, but it could be better. And then he's at plus 1800 attack, which is kind of a minimum. He doesn't need to be nearly this tanky, so these are the runes that he's on. He's on attack, crit damage attack, of course, Rage Blade. But when you start really looking at the runes, you can see, well, I've got a 21% stat for defense and a 14% for hit point. He doesn't need that. When you build the Tricaru team properly, he doesn't need that much tankiness. So this rune could be improved. This rune's actually okay. You can't get attack percent on here anyway. This could definitely be better. But the point is, for right now, I don't have many runes. In fact, I don't think I have any runes that could improve my Verd right now. He's about as good as he can get. If you come here, you look at this. Now, I've actually only got a 4% grind on here. So we're going to try to bump that up a little bit. See if we can get better. 6%, that's not bad. So that's a 2% increase. And then this is only at 14. We're going to try one of these blue ones just to see if we get lucky and get 18. We don't. We got 14 again. Let's see if we can do better with this hero one. 18. It's better, but it's not a giant improvement. So we're a little bit better there. We're at a max 7% grind there for hero, so we're not going to touch that one. So that's about as much as we can do with Verd right now. We bumped his attack up just a little bit. But really, where there's a lot of room for improvement is actually the Icarus. So let's go to number 1 here. So when you look in that spreadsheet, you look at your you know what your plus defense number needs to be. And for my setup with my towers and guild bonus and all that, my defense number is plus 2175. So he's at plus 2180, so he's just over that. So we can't get rid of any defense, but his attack is terrible. It's only plus 131. So let's take a look at this guy. Also, his accuracy is a little low. You want to be closer to 65% for DB12 and Necro 12. So we're looking at this, but if you look at these runes, so I did get 2 determination sets on them, and those sets are decent, but they're not great. And then I went broken to get the defense for the rest of them. But there are, I don't need 15% hit points on him, and flat HP doesn't help either. This is speed, crit damage, and defense. Those are all needed. So there's not a lot of room for improvement here. But this is at a plus 12. So we're going to go ahead, power that up to plus 15. That'll get us more attack. So not much we can do there. Let's look at number 2. And of course he's on, so I was able to get him on 1 determination set and 2 guard sets. So he's just defense, defense, defense. 2 defense artifacts. But if you look at his numbers, he's actually at 2240. So he's actually way over the defense requirement. And his attack's already better. But his crit rate is horrible. And accuracy needs to go up. So we're going to see how we can improve this one. And you notice immediately we have a flat defense here that's really not needed anymore. So we can change that into something. And this rune is pretty much garbage for Tricaru. It does have 8% attack. It has some defense, but he's over his defense number, so it doesn't need defense. And hit point percents, yeah, it makes him tankier, but he doesn't need that. And if you look at this, this is a legend rune. So this is actually a great re-app candidate. So what we need on this Tricaru is we could use a little more speed. We definitely need a lot more attack. Certainly wouldn't help to improve accuracy, crit rate, or crit damage. So almost anything will be better than what this rune is right now. And we got some stuff we can gem out of there. And actually we have, and this is only at plus 13. So we're going to power this up to plus 15, which will make his defense number even higher. It should allow us to gem out a couple of his defense flat stats for hopefully attack percent, crit rate, crit damage, accuracy, something along those lines. So we're going to, we'll be right back after this stubborn rune decides to actually upgrade. I upgraded the slot 1 and slot 3 on this Tricaru. We can see now he's at 2274. My defense number is 2175, so he's got 99 defense I can get rid of to improve his other stats. So let's see what we can do. And the first one is obviously this rune. Other than the 8% attack, since he doesn't need defense anymore, all the rest of these stats are completely worthless. And it's a legend, so I don't have a lot of re-apps, but we're going to try a couple to see if we can get higher accuracy, higher speed, higher attack percent, higher crit rate, higher crit damage. Any of those would be helpful. Okay, finally, we got something that was decent. I'm not going to show you how many re-apps I used. Way more than I wanted to, but we got some speed. We got 1 roll into crit damage, and then it looks like we got 3 rolls into accuracy, and they were low rolls. But this will do. It helps me meet my accuracy requirements, so I don't need to get accuracy other places. And this flat defense is not needed anymore. So let's see. We should have, we have an attack percent. That's definitely what we want. So we're going to see 10%. That's not bad. And then we'll throw a grind onto that, and we actually have quite a few. Let's go for a legend. Can we get 20%? Yeah, we got 17. We'll take it. We may add some speed later, but for now, we can see we definitely improved that rune. And now his accuracy is up to 60%. So we don't really need any more accuracy from other runes. So now we're going to be looking for crit rate, crit damage, attack percent. And we can see now my defense number is 2237. Still have plenty of room to get rid of defense. So this defense flat is no longer needed. And we can convert that into a nice, juicy attack percent. So let's see if we have, yeah, we've got another one. Let's get 11. That would be awesome. 10% again, I'll take it. That's not bad at all. And don't use guard runes very often, so we'll use another legend. Can we get 10% here? Oh, we got 5%. That's horrible. Well, now we got 7, so that's better. So that rune is improved. This one we could probably add. We don't need accuracy anymore, so let's see if we can throw some crit damage on here. We don't really want to use a legend. I'd almost rather take. We don't really have many good. We have another blue crit legend, but there's no. I just don't want to use that. And the reason I don't want to use that legend crit damage gem is that my other Ikaru has a much better shot at being a crit damage Ikaru than this one. So this one we're just going to throw some more accuracy on there, and then we know we're hitting our accuracy number. So we're good on accuracy now. This one's good. This rune, we need all these stats, so we're not changing that one. We already have a 5% attack, 19 accuracy, speed. All three of those stats are needed. The HP percent is not really needed, but I think we're going to look at probably grinding the attack percent and then replacing the HP percent with crit damage. So let's see what we've got here. We do have a hero crit damage, so that HP percent is going to go away. And we got 8%. Outstanding. Got plenty of grinds here, so let's try to get a 6 or a 7. We got a 6, we'll take it. We can always up the speed later. So we've added crit damage, we've added attack. Take a look at this one. We got a nice fat 20% attack. Let's see what we can do here. We've got 7 hero grinds, so we want a 6 or a 7 on here. It's not bad. Let's try one more just to see if we can get 7. No. Okay, so we'll keep it at that for now. So we've got speed, we've got attack percent, we've got crit rate. We don't need resistance. We can use one of our blue crit damage and just see what we get. 5%. We'll take it. So that's about as good as this. I think all these are now. Yeah, I hate that we're wasting stats on a 21% resistance. But I looked through all my guard runes. I didn't have anything better. So that's the best we can do right now. By re-apping that rune and getting a plus 11 speed on there, we have now fixed one of the other problems we had. So this Tricaru is now plus 153 speed. And one of the problems we had was that my Verd is 150 speed. So we needed to get that Tricaru up above him. You always want your Verd moving last. So we fixed that problem by doing the re-up. So that's good. Okay, so this is our last Tricaru to modify. It's at 58% accuracy, so it doesn't need much more accuracy. It's at 64% crit rate and 72% crit damage. And its attack is plus 348. Its defense number is only 4 above the required defense, so we don't have much room. We can't get rid of any defense, but can we do anything to improve this Tricaru? And we can. First of all, this is plus 12, so we're going to plus 15 that right away. So one other thing I should point out is the Cookie Run Kingdom collaboration is about to start this weekend. And one of the things that you can earn in the events during this collaboration are little special items that allow you to run a dungeon for the specific rune set you want for an hour. So that could be really critical to getting an hour of violent runes or an hour of will runes. The faster and more efficient your teams are, the more runes you can get with those special items. So that's another incentive to work on your dungeon teams over the next couple days before that collab hits. Okay, so we're at plus 390 attack. Let's see how much we can add by grinding and gemming things up. So we have still a decent supply. It's a 5. We might come back to that one. Let's see what this one's at. It's only at a 3. And we've got... So this is a shield rune. It's a broken set. We don't need attack very often on a shield rune. Let's see if we can get a 10% here. 8%, we'll take it. Let's see here, we're at 6%. Got plenty of these. Let's see if we can get a 6% with these blues. It's a 5. Be nice to use up a few blues and maybe get a 6 out of them. But if we don't get it soon, we'll switch over to the hero. There we go. We got a 6. Otherwise, that rune's actually pretty good. We don't need resistance, so we're going to try for, let's see what we have 1 attack percent left. Let's get an 11. No, we got an 8. Yeah. It's not the best, but we'll still grind it. Maybe we'll just throw a 5 or a 6 on there with a blue and wait for a better gem long term. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. So we've got another So we have another determination rune. We've already used a gem on this rune, so we can't change this to a better attack. Let's see if we can get a 7% here. 4, that's terrible. Another 4. I'll take 6 for now. So there we go. Okay, so we were at 390. We're now at 613, which is better. And we still have our defense number. It's about as good as he's going to get for right now. And over time, we'll just replace runes as we get more efficient runes. Okay, so I'm going to show you one other trick that could help out in Punisher's Crypt 10. If you're just not quite there on damage, which is where I'm at, and you want your runs to be a little safer because you're doing more damage. So you just go into your craft building, you go into craft low runes, you choose fight, and then you just craft a bunch of crappy fight runes. So those are all garbage. And then what you do is you go into your monsters and you pick a cheap dark monster that you're fine with dying. And so here I've got a little mimic that I saved from the Halloween event a couple years ago. I knew they'd eventually come in handy. And then you just pick all these fight runes that it doesn't matter what they are. Ooh, I got a legend HP flat. It's actually a useful rune this time. So you apply those in. And now you've got 3 fight sets. And each fight set gives you an 8% bonus to ally attack. We add in our little sacrifice mimic. Battlefield effect. We've got a 24% attack boost from those fight runes. And you can see that the mimic has already died. Since it's dark, it'll be targeted by all the light crystals almost immediately. So you want it to die. Because if you look, even though we're already on the next stage, we still have that 24% fight bonus. And you can see that I have my runs set up to where I take out both of the towers because my attack power is just not where it should be. And it's to make the runs safer. Because as we all know, the boss is very quick in Punisher's Crypt 10. And my Tricaru team is a little slow compared to his speed. So by taking out the towers and then also increasing my attack by 24% with that mimic, it makes my runs a lot safer. Okay, so here we are. It's the end of the video. Just wanted to show you how my times have improved. Did everything we could to the Tricarus. We improved our Verd. We skilled up my Verd with 5 skill ups. And we also added the Mimic in for PC10. So DB12, we're now looking at an average of 1 minute and 4 second run. That's less than half the time it took before with my Light and Dark team. So that's a great improvement. Necropolis B12. Again, my average run was between 2.5 to 3 minutes. I'm now down to 1 minute and 10 seconds. So 1/3 of the time. So I'm going to be really raking in the Rage and Will runes and Destroy runes. So I'm excited about that. And then PC10, we were between 2.5 to 3 minutes. We're now down to 1 minute and 17 seconds. And the beauty of all of this is that all 3 dungeons appear to be very safe now. Well over 30-40 runs with these new setups, and I haven't seen any fails in all 3 dungeons. So improving your dungeons, farming to get closer to the end game is super important. Hope you enjoyed this video. I really do appreciate you taking your time to watch, and I hope to see you in the next one. Catch you later.